Hello and welcome to this part 3 of the Blackest Night breakdown from DC Comics. It's still one of the best stories that DC has ever done. And we're going to start again with issue 5, part 5 of Blackest Night. Straight away, the first thing we see is the 5 different coloured lanterns. These are being led by Green Lantern and Hal Jordan. They're on the planet of Ryut in Sector 666, which is the planet that prophesied the Blackest Night, and Abin Sur started using a ship to fly. Now each spouting their relative oath. We also see that the Blue Lantern of Hope can ease the hunger and greed of the Orange Lantern. The Lanterns are meeting up with 2 Guardians to make a plan of attack. Then we move on to the war on Earth, being led by the Flash. He's fighting alone, and he's fighting Innumerable Dead, Necron and the Black Hand. Wally West appears and starts helping, and he announces that he has shaken up with some friends, and these friends are the Justice League and Teen Titans. The Atom tries to stop Damage, which I've been calling Atom Smasher Jr., and I completely forgot that his name was Damage, from taking a Black Lantern ring after being killed by Azrael. Now, the Atom was stopped by his dead wife Jean, but Jimira blasts Jean Loring. As we know, decapitation doesn't work that well against these zombies, so Jean's head blows apart. It just doesn't slow her down. She ends up grabbing Mira and the Atom and shrinking down to enter a Black Lantern ring. The heroes of the DC universe now goes balls out. The no-kill rule no longer applies. I mean, if it applied anyway, being that everyone is dead, so. We see Superman just incinerating everything in his path. The Flash is just shattering people. It's just hectic. Now Kid Flash runs into the fray with some good news and some bad news. The good news is that Dove being around Black Lanterns is killing them permanently. The bad news is Donna Troy has been bitten and is becoming sick. Now Dove does seem to be tapping into White Lantern power. We'll learn more about that in the next 2 issues. Now the Flash comes up with a plan to rescue the Guardians of Oa, who are now attached to the Black Lantern Central Battery. Just as they get to the old blue ones, they are ambushed by Scar, the Renegade Guardian. Scar is kicking the Flash's asses when the Lanterns from Aura Spectrum drop in and save them. The Lanterns combine all their powers to kill Scar. This creates, obviously, if you use all the colours of the spectrum, it creates white light, so using all the colours of the emotional spectrum creates White Lantern power, whence can kill a Black Lantern. Now, a single Black Lantern ring comes flying out and straight to the skull of Batman that the Black Hand has been holding. This creates Black Lantern Batman. Now the thing is, Batman has been central to the Justice League for a long time. Being the only human, kind of, except the Green Arrow, and being able to go toe to toe with Superman and be absolutely balls to the wall mental and strong when he needs to be, everyone has an emotional tether to him. The Black Lantern rings abuse that. So this causes every single one of the Justice League and Teen Titans who had died to get a Black Lantern ring. Now, once the rings have been delivered, Necron just destroys Batman. He states his job is done and he has no reason for him anymore, so now he can rest. The issue ends with the Justice League and Teen Titans wearing Black Lantern rings. Now part 6, we get gets more action again. We see this quite a bit. You get a very story driven issue, and then you get a very action issue. And there is no difference here. Part 6 is very much action. The Lanterns and the remaining heroes are forced to fight their friends. But there is also 2 Black Lantern rings, and they are searching for Hal Jordan and Barry Allen, the Flash. The Flash pulls out a massive gambit and asks Hal to throw him a line, so he can grab it and run with Hal to try and outrun the rings. Now, and to the pair's surprise, they actually achieve this feat. The Flash manages to outrun the Lantern rings, and the connection is severed. Hal is worried about whether they or their friends are going to die. The Flash doesn't know the answer. So what we do now is we go back inside the Black Lantern with the Atom, Mirror and Black Lantern Jean Loring. And these three are unaware that a fourth has been in the Black Lantern rings as well. This is Deadman. Deadman and now possesses Jean to tell the heroes he can hear the dead rising. And that many more are coming to Earth. Mirror asks whether or not the Atom needs Jean to get out of the Black Lantern ring. He says he does not, and the pair of heroes escape. And they reappear out of Wonder Woman's ring. And also we see John Stewart running to Earth, being followed by millions, literal millions of Black Lanterns. It is a terrifying sight. Right, now knowing they are overwhelmed, Ganthet, the Guardian, requests help from all the members of the other Lanterns. The Indigo Tribe member tells him it would take too long for them to come. The Guardian uses an old safety trick of the rings, which is you can make a Green Lantern ring duplicate itself. The main ring is the parent ring, and any ring made from that cannot go against the will of the original user. Anyway, then he shows off that the other rings actually have the same ability. The ring bearers are less than pleased when they see these new rings fly off, especially Laughly's and his orange ring of avarice. He really hates this. But what we get now is a quick montage of where the rings are going. The blue ring of hope goes straight to the Flash, Barry Allen. Orange ring of avarice goes to Lex Luthor, because that's not going to have any issues down the road. Red ring of rage goes to Mirror. Indigo ring of compassion goes to Atom, and Ganthet takes the extra Green Lantern ring. Oh yeah, and of course the yellow ring of fear goes to the Batman villain, the Scarecrow. Now an interesting point here is the violet ring of love. Well, that severs Wonder Woman's connection to the Black Lantern, and she becomes a Star Sapphire. Again, this is another little interesting observation from Jeff Jones, obviously, about love and death, and how same we had with compassion, and now we see that love can help with easing of death. When someone dies and people feel alone, that there is issues, but we see this is very interesting part of how love is integral into a grieving process and how it can help with death. It's quite an interesting little observation there, and one I'd like bringing up is how Jeff Jones has really kind of thought about the grieving process and what rings would be the best and most, to fight it. And the fact that he uses love and compassion as the parts of the emotional spectrum that are which are the strongest against death is really interesting. I mean, like, rage causes death. Fear can do nothing when you see someone dies. All of the will in the world won't bring someone back. Same with hope. Avarice, of course, is a completely selfish emotion, so that's not going to do anything to help death. But love and compassion, whether it might not actually help anyone after someone's died, it's not going to bring them back, but it can definitely help those who have survived and the people around them who are now grieving. It's also an interesting point of view. I'm glad Jeff Johns has really looked into this. This is one of the reasons why Blackest Night is one of my favourite books, and one I read so many times. I at least read it once a year. It's one I go out my way to read. I think I read it more than Watchmen. Now, the final issue ends with a picture of all these new lanterns, and that's it. I mean, it's a fantastic bit of artwork to end on. You see orange Lex Luthor, you see red Mirror, you see the small compassionate indigo Atom, the blue Flash. It's actually one of my favourite looks for the Flash. It is. I really do like it. And of course you've got Ganthet, Wonder Woman, and everyone else. It looks a real nice bit of work. It's a great bit of artwork, and it's fantastic. I do like it. And there you go. We are on part 3. We have just finished part 3. Part 4 is next week, and that's the final part. And God, things get good. If you haven't read it, honestly, go read it. Jump ahead and see what happens. It is so good. This is one of the best endings of a comic book series I have ever read. It's really interesting. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like Warhammer and tabletop games, I have a link to Wayland Games down below. If you like comics, I have a link to Forbidden Planet down below as well. If you like me, I hope you do, there's my comic as well. And of course, there's my merchandise as always. Well, thank you very much. Oh, Patreon, I forgot Patreon. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. I hope to see you next week for the final episode of The Blackest Night. I really should have done this as a Halloween thing, but I didn't. Bye-bye.